Here are the answers for day 2. Question A, find the distance between this ordered pair and this ordered pair. Remember what these ordered pairs represent. On a coordinate grid, there's a dot over 2 up 4, and there's a dot over 5 up 9. We want to find the distance between those dots. To do that, you use the Pythagorean theorem. Create a right triangle, find the distance across the bottom, find the distance vertically, those are the legs of the right triangle, and then you can find the hypotenuse. Now, in finding the distances for those legs, you use these coordinates. Because of that, it's not necessary to actually draw the triangle or use the Pythagorean theorem in its a squared plus b squared equals c squared form. We can use the distance formula. Distance equals the square root of the difference of the x coordinates squared plus the difference of the y coordinates squared. This is the Pythagorean theorem applied to this drawing. If you wanted to find the length across the bottom here, you would have to find the difference between this x coordinate and this x coordinate. If you wanted to find the vertical distance, you would have to find the distance between this y coordinate and this y coordinate. And that's what this formula is showing. So inside the square root, let's evaluate these pieces. Subtracting the x coordinates means to find how far it is between 2 and 5. That's 3 units apart. Subtracting the y coordinates means to find how far it is between the 4 and the 9. That's 5 units apart. So this becomes the square root of 9 plus 25, which is the square root of 34. Now, if this was to make a whole number or it could be simplified in some way, we would definitely want to simplify it. But because the square root of 34 does not simplify, we can leave it like this. If you like, you could type it in the calculator and get a decimal approximation. Question B, a right triangle has legs of 5 centimeters and 8 centimeters. Find the length of the hypotenuse. This is really the same type of question as we did in A, but because it does not refer to coordinates, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem in its form a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the legs of the triangle, and c is the hypotenuse. So substitute 5 for the first leg, 8 for the second leg, and leave the variable c to represent the hypotenuse. This is 25 plus 64. And when you add 25 and 64 together, that makes 89. To solve for c, do a square root. So c equals the square root of 89. Again, if this actually simplified, we would want to simplify it, or you could give a decimal approximation using your calculator. Question C, in which quadrant is a point located if its x-coordinate is greater than 0 and its y-coordinate is less than 0? To answer this, you first need to know the quadrants. So this one's number 1, this one's number 2, this is number 3, and this one here is number 4, using Roman numerals on those quadrants. Now, where is x greater than 0? This is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So being greater than 0 means traveling towards the right. Where is y less than 0? That means traveling down. From the origin, if you're to the right and down, you have to be in quadrant number 4.